Hello students, welcome to Legacy IS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a very important region of the earth which is popularly known as the Ring of Fire. So what is the Ring of Fire and how it is related to the massive earthquake that recently we have witnessed in the Taiwan, which is a small island country in the Pacific Ocean. So first of all, to give you the background of this particular issue, the total, as we look at or refer to the news article, we see that 9 people have died and more than 1,000 people were injured in Taiwan after the island was hit by its biggest earthquake in what we can see in last at least 25 years. While Taiwan's earthquake monitoring agency said the earthquake was 7.2 magnitude, the US Geological Survey or USGS put it at 7.4 on the Richter scale. If you talk about the epicenter of the earthquake, it was in the LIA county, which is situated in the eastern part of Taiwan. So basically, let us try to first of all understand these terms briefly. So actually we know that earthquake happens due to the disturbances that happens below the earth's surface in the rock system. So the place where actual disturbance happens, or in other way we can say the place from where the seismic wave or earthquake waves originate, is termed as focus. Now if the seismic waves are originating from the focus, the place where they will reach first is obviously the shortest distance from the focus to the surface, and that shortest distance is lying directly above the focus, and this place on the earth's surface where seismic wave will reach first is referred as epicenter. The other term you can see is fault. Fault refers to the break in the rock system, that is the reason behind the development of earthquake like event. So this is how we can understand that epicenter, that is the place on the earth's surface where we can see the maximum impact of the earthquake, was in Hualien County, which is situated in the eastern part of Taiwan. So why earthquake happened in Taiwan? What is the reason behind this? If you understand, so simple reason is the location of Taiwan. Geographically, Taiwan is situated in what we refer as the Pacific Ring of Fire, and 90% of world's earthquake, if we talk about, occurs in this zone itself. If you take a look at this map here, this red shaded area is what represents your Ring of Fire, that basically covers the entire stretch of the Pacific Ocean right from South America all the way up to New Zealand. Now the island and its surrounding, we talk about the location of Taiwan. Around this region is where you have the location of Taiwan, and the island and surrounding waters have registered about 2,000 earthquakes with a magnitude of 4.0 or greater since 1980. More than 100 earthquakes with magnitude above 5.5 according to the USGS has also been recorded in a small tiny island of Taiwan. Now since we are talking about the magnitude, let us have a look at the magnitude. So magnitude is basically represented on a scale that was developed by Richter, Charles Richter, in 1935, and it is also called as Richter scale for earthquake magnitude. On this scale, earthquake can be represented on the scale with a value between 1 to 10, with 1 being least damaging and 10 being catastrophic. Till now, we have not recorded any earthquake on the earth's surface having magnitude 10 on the Richter scale. So these are also the categorization that has been done, that as the magnitude or the value of the earthquake on the Richter magnitude scale increases, how the damage and the earthquake is being felt. For example, if earthquake is having magnitude of 6, it is considered as a strong earthquake. There can be property damage as well as loss of life. On the other hand, if earthquake is of having magnitude 9, it refers to a massive earthquake that will cause near total destruction, and 10 will be a devastating that cannot even be described, that what kind of impact we will observe. In simple terms, if you put it, every unit increase on the Richter scale represents 31 times increase in the energy released by the earthquake and 10 times increase in the overall amplitude, or what you can say is the wave height of the seismic wave or the earthquake waves. Now if we talk about the Taiwan itself, this is a tiny island of Taiwan located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, and we have discussed in the beginning that Hualien is the place where we have observed the epicenter of the earthquake, and that is obviously the region where you are having epicenter. The effect will be tremendous and more damaging, more destructive in nature, and as you move away, the damage is there, the earthquake is being felt, however the resultant impact is relatively lesser, and that is what we can see from here. We have severe, then we have very strong, then we are having a strong, and then we are having a moderate impact or moderate damage. So the question that comes into our mind, that obviously we have understood that Taiwan is situated on the ring of fire, but why the ring of fire is vulnerable to phenomena like earthquake? This we can understand by looking at the core concept of geography, which is referred as plate interaction. We know that the earth entirely is made up of several plates, total 7 major plates we can distinguish here, and all these plates are relatively moving with each other, and thus when two plates interact with each other, they can either collide, and after collision generally the heavier or denser plate begins to subduct below the lighter plate, and that exactly happens around Taiwan due to constant sliding past, colliding into or moving above or below each other tectonic plates. Lot of disturbances are generated in the rock system. As the edge of these plates are quite rough, they get stuck with one another and rest of plate keeps moving. An earthquake occurs when the plate has moved far enough and the edges suddenly unstick on one of the fault. This sudden unsticking of the edge is what results into development of seismic wave, generation of seismic waves, which then propagate through the entire body of the earth. Taiwan experiences earthquake due to the interactions of two tectonic plates. On the one side, that is to the eastern side of Taiwan, we have the Pacific Sea plate, and on the western side of Taiwan, we have the Philippine Sea plate. And also, if we talk about the northern side, we have the Eurasian plate. So, largely Philippine Sea plate, Eurasian plate and also Pacific plate, they keep on interacting with each other, which causes lot of disturbances around these areas, and this results into occurrences of earthquake here. Not only earthquake, ring of fire also is known for large scale volcanic eruptions, and that is exactly how the name has been given, because volcano is associated with fire and the entire area around the circumpacific belt is nothing but volcanic region, and that is why it is called as ring of fire. So the existence of volcanoes ring of fire is also due to the movement of tectonic plates. The phenomena, the mechanism is same. And if you talk about the ring of fire itself, overall it stretches for almost 40,000 kilometers, kind of horseshoe shaped area of intense volcanic and seismic activities that follows the edges of the Pacific Ocean, as we have discussed in the diagram before. Overall, if you talk about the number of volcanoes in this zone itself, 452 dormant and active volcanoes are found, 75% of the world's total active volcanoes, and is also responsible for 90% of the global earthquake. Now, how volcanism happens? Let us try to understand this as well. So, many of the volcanoes have been formed through a process that is known as subduction. Subduction also is a type of plate interaction. So, when a heavier plate collides with a lighter plate, heavier plate sinks below the lighter plate, or in another way we can say it is pulled toward the mantle. Now, as the heavier plate is pulled toward the mantle, it occurs, the process is called as subduction of the plate. Now, due to the subduction of plate, as the plate moves downward, temperature rises. Due to the increase in temperature, the plate heats up and the volatile elements of the plates mix together, and this produces a molten rock that is referred as magma. Now, magma being lighter, and also since lot of gases are trapped within the magma start to rise up through the plate that is overlying this plate that is subducting, and as the magma rises up through this plate, it is burst out at the surface, which leads to the formation of volcanoes. As clearly we can see from this diagram here, this plate is sinking down, subducting, here we have generation of magma, and magma then break through the other overlying plate, and we observe the volcanic eruption. So, the most of the subduction zones on the planets are located in the ring of fire, and that's why it hosts a large number of volcanoes. Obviously, on a larger scale, we have the Pacific plate, and it's surrounded by several plates such as South American plate, North American plate, Eurasian plate, then we have Australian plate, then we have the Philippine Sea plate, and thus such huge or large scale interaction creates both a zone of volcanism as well as zone of earthquake, and that is the region behind the recent earthquake that we have recorded in the Taiwan. That is all for this particular video. Thank you very much.